Welcome to Module 1. What we're going to be covering in this section is 360-degree energy and also prepping for your DX4 journey. It's time to rebalance. And when we're talking about rebalancing, it's 360-degree rebalancing, and that is your mind as well as your body. So the first part is to get ready and to reset. And that is to reset, as I said, your mind and your body. Get steady and renew. What are you going to be renewing? These are your goals as well as your desires. And then to go, to rejuvenate, and rejuvenate your body and your mind from the inside out. When we talk about the mind and the body, there is a huge connection between all of the systems that you have within your body. In fact, you have 10 different systems. So let's now have a look at all the systems that you have. First of all, we have our respiratory system, then our cardiovascular, also referred to as our circulatory, the skeletal, your muscular, the nervous system, which we're going to spend a little bit more time on, your endocrine. So your endocrine is your hormonal system, reproductive system, your skin and your hair, your urinary tract or excretory system, your immune system, and then finally your digestive system. Often when we're thinking about our different systems in our body, we may be focusing on one or two at the same time. So, for example, a lot of people may think about focusing on their digestive health, and then alongside that, it could be their muscular health, their skeletal health, when they're thinking about diet and exercise. Other people may start to focus on their endocrine system, which is their hormonal system, because they feel that's out of balance. But the most important thing to remember is that everything in our systems all work together, they support each other, and they are all controlled by messages that come from our nervous system. And within our nervous system, we have, first of all, we have our brain, and then we have which is part of our central nervous system, which is where our spinal cord is. And then we have all our nerves and our nerve endings. And then finally, we have our sensory organs, which is our touch, our taste, our smell, our sight, and also our hearing. So I want you to imagine it's like an upside down tree. So the brain is like the root ball. Then we have the central nervous system with our spinal cord is like the trunk. Then we have all of our nerve endings, which are like the branches and the twigs. And then finally, those sensory organs, they are like the leaves on the outside. And whatever is going on from our external environment, then the leaves will send messages back to the root of the tree. And then we have all of our nerve endings, which are sending internal messages back to the brain. And these will travel through our spinal cord. So if you want to have good health with your hormonal system, if you want to have good health with your muscular system or your respiratory system or all of the systems, that remember these are all controlled by the messages that go back to the brain. So we need to be focusing on that part of the energy in our body that sometimes can be a difficult area to visit. There are 3 energies in the body: physical, chemical, and then our mental energy. So let's break them down into 3 separate parts. First of all, we have our physical energy. So physical energy is our body matter. This is what we can actually see, and we want to feel good. So we can create energy by the way that we look on the outside. So people will exercise to develop toning to the body and our muscles, but then also choose with the way that we look through our hair, our nails, makeup, and obviously grooming. Also, it can be through tattoos or body piercings, and also the clothes and the shoes that we choose to wear. And we know that when we are looking good, we feel good. So that will give us energy. So that's one part of energy, which is going to account for a third of our energy in our body. The next area of energy is our chemical energy. So this is to do with the energy that's flowing through our systems, all of our body systems and all of our organs. And this is down to the way we choose the nutrition that we're putting into our body for our food choices, our drink choices, and then on top of that, the nutritional supplements that we can take to support a healthy, well-balanced diet. And then finally, it's the mental energy. So it's obvious that lots of people can really focus on their physical and chemical energy, but that's only going to account for 2/3 of your energy. So unless you are addressing this part, can you actually say that you are completely energized? So let's have a look at the mental energy. This is the energy that will control the rest. This is all to do with how we feel, our mood and our emotions. But then this is affected by hormones, and hormones are biochemicals. These are nature's chemicals, our bodily chemicals. But some very important hormones out of the 55 different hormones we have in the body are, first of all, dopamine. This affects your motivation and is also known as our rewarding hormone. Instant gratification. What is instant gratification? Instant gratification. What is instant gratification? Well, this is where we want to feel good by the results that we get straight away. This is where we find it difficult to think ahead. This is where when we're setting goals, sometimes we give up on goals because we want to see the results now, and it's hard to set goals for the future if we can't see the results. So a lot of people really focus on instant gratification. In fact, the brain is wired in a way that probably about 80% of people will function on instant gratification, which is quite interesting to know. Then we have serotonin, which is calming and affects your emotional well-being, plus the regulation of your appetite, your muscles and your temperature. Finally, adrenaline and noradrenaline. These deal with your stress, often referred to as your fight or flight hormone. Energy cannot go away. It is entirely up to you how you decide to deal with it, whether you're going to make the energy positive or negative. At every moment in your life, one of the three things are happening to you at your energy level. You are either gaining, retaining, or draining your energy. Destructive toxic energy can come in lots of different ways, and often we think about it just to do with food choices or how our digestive system is, how our body is functioning on the choices that we put into our body. But actually, toxic energy can come from different things, such as a thought, a habit, an action, or even your environment or a person that you're spending time with. So all of these things can build up in your body and in your mind to create toxic energy. Let's have a look at the pillars of the DX4 program. First of all, setting a personal intention and or desire. Then there are 4 days of a guided food and supplement intake, focusing on hydration for your body. Next, mindful activities for positive energy. What activity and exercise to do. Become more aware of your food and your drink choices, and share your experiences with others. And finally, don't forget it's important to celebrate your achievements. It's always important, if you want to have success, to plan ahead. So let's have a look at how you can prep for success. The DX4 helps you to become more aware of your body, what it needs, rather than being on the automatic learnt response from the past. Teaching you to be present, and then the food choices and the activities. Having a look at your social environment and how that affects you, your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, and very importantly, pausing to have time out. Time. Let's have a look at the 4 days which can lead to longer term gains. First of all, do choose the time when you are in a normal routine. What do we mean by a normal routine? When everybody is different. So that means that some people feel that they're busy all the time. So if you're busy all the time, there isn't going to be a time when you're not busy. So what you'll be doing is the DX4 in a time that is normal for you. Often people ask me about exercise. If people are automatically or every day they are exercising to a fairly high level, can they still exercise? Well, if that is normal for you, there's absolutely no reason why you can't exercise, but maybe what you could do for 4 days is change the kind of exercise that you're doing. So for example, if you go to a gym or you go to a class, maybe you want to do a different kind of workout in the gym, or a different kind of, maybe a calmer exercise class instead. Get your food choices ready and include 2 days before the 4 days of the DX4 and an initial 4 days afterwards. So what we mean by that is, think about it as 10 days rather than 4, because it's important that you are working and moving forward from the 4 days and planning for success afterwards. Tell people around you what you're doing, and also consider buddying up for support. It's important to consult your doctor if you have any concerns and continue to take any medication that you are currently on. And yes, definitely commit to the full 4 days. Check the list of forever supplements suggested not to take that are written in the booklet or similar ones. And if they're not on the list, then you can continue to take them as normal. The reason for this is because on the DX4 program, there are supplements that contain ingredients, nutrients, that will have a similar effect to some of those that are suggested not to take on the list of forever products. And then of course, don't wait for the perfect time when you are motivated, because of course we have to say, when is the perfect time? There is never a perfect time. Don't substitute food and beverage choices. Optimal results are about sticking to the plan. Don't rush and just focus on the 4 days of what you are eating and supplementing without considering the other elements. Don't ignore any medical issues. And don't modify the supplements in amounts or time of day without advice. Don't ignore your body. This is about listening to your body and seeing what it wants. Don't keep your calorie intake low after day 4. So don't repeat the DX4 too soon. Keep a minimum of 2 months between each program. We like to refer to it as a seasonal reset. So that means that approximately every 3 months is a really good time to repeat your DX4. There's nothing better than getting prepped for all the lovely foods that you're going to be taking on the DX4. So the shopping list is great fun. And of course, it's about connecting yourself with nature. And when you are going into the supermarket or going to the market store, wherever you decide to go and get your fruits and vegetables, why don't you have a look at a whole array of probably new vegetables or fruits that you haven't even tried before? That is the whole idea of this part of the program, to connect yourself with nature. So there's an abundance of wonderful, fresh, green, leafy vegetables that maybe you haven't even considered having raw before. So this is a time for changing. This is a time to experiment with new flavours. So here is a list, the shopping list, and if you want to try everything that we are suggesting within the booklet, then this is your list that's very easy to tick everything off. Mindset preparation. This is all about you thinking ahead. So to have a really successful first day, it's going to start the night before. So here's a really simple, very easy exercise that you can do, whether you do it every night or if you decide when you just want to have a little bit of time out that you can do anywhere. It could be that you are at the desk at work and you're feeling a little bit stressed and you just need to pause in your day. It could be that you have dropped the children off at school and before you drive off in your car, you can just sit and relax and then do this very, very simple exercise. So let's go through it. The 5-minute top to toe body check. Sit up straight on a bed, on the floor or a chair, and then relax your arms and hands with palms facing upwards. Close your eyes and take big, deep breaths in and out every 5 seconds. Slowly scan every part of your body, from the top of your head to the toes and everything in between. And then slowly work back up to your head. Open your eyes and write down in your journal or notebook how each zone feels. That will be your head, neck and shoulders, your core and microbiome, your lower back and your legs as well as your feet. Notice how they feel. Do you notice a twinge? Do you notice an ache? But just notice it. Just be aware of it. That's all you need to do. Be aware of how your body is feeling. Be aware of how your mind is. Just be aware of who you are from the inside out. You have now completed Module 1. Follow the link below to complete the quiz.